Number 7. Condemned. While filming this eerie video, this paranormal team found themselves in way over their heads. They were called in by the neighbours to investigate the decrepit remains of what was once a cosy family home. Throughout the 90s, the house you're about to see was apparently tormented by some kind of malevolent spirit. The family tried everything they could to escape the jaws of their own personal hell, but it was no use, and a priest eventually had no choice but to remove the family entirely and condemn the house. It stayed mostly dormant for a good 2 decades. But nice things can't last forever, can they? Check out what they found inside.
Só avisar pra silêncio aqui, ó. O clima aqui tá muito pesado, mano. Tô tenso aqui hoje. Isso? Isso, cara. Aí, ó. Não, peraí. João, vem pra cá. Vai. Não, peraí. Nossa. Vai. Que isso, cara? Tá louco, velho? Nossa. Você é louco, irmão? Aqui, ó. Eu quero que cada um de vocês não faça essa aula. Cada um de vocês faça a oração da religião sua, fazendo baixo agora, tá? Então vai. Mano, eu tô sentindo mal. Caramba. Tá voado. A gente já se retirou da casa. Que isso? Tô nervoso. Ó, olha só. Nossa. Aqui, Diogo.
Que isso, cara?
Desliga a câmera, senão não dá.
While there wasn't much poltergeist activity going on as they toured through the building, they noticed that something was just a little off as the EMF reader started to go a bit crazy. And then they heard some ungodly crashing sounds, which was when they realised that the horror might not be inside the house, but up on the roof.
O clima aqui tá muito pesado, mano. Eu tô tenso aqui hoje. Isso? Isso, cara. Aí, não, peraí. João, vem pra cá.
Vai.
Não, peraí. Nossa.
You're probably thinking that there might have just been a crackhead smashing it up or something, but the team made their way outside and looked up and saw absolutely no one.
Louco, velho. Nossa.
So how can the roof carry on smashing through itself? Unless there was some kind of controlled demolition going on, but you at least need some kind of equipment for that. No wonder the priest had to get the original family out. No amount of holy water can go up against shrapnel flying at your face. Number 6. Deep breaths. While enjoying the crisp air of his hike, this guy clocked something that he just couldn't ignore. A deep, dark and scary hole in the middle of the ground. So naturally he decided to lob a GoPro camera down there and see what lurked underneath the surface. He expected to hear some animal noises, maybe some snuffling and shuffling. What he didn't expect to hear was possibly the most terrifying noise he could have imagined. Who the hell was breathing so heavily down there? A few commenters believe it could be the sounds from miscellaneous small animals who fell down the hole and got stuck there. But the breathing sounds so eerily human that we just can't shake it. One thing's for sure though, this guy just made one hell of an abstract horror short film. Number 5. rise again. The graveyard shift is 10 times worse when you're working in an actual graveyard, which is why the workers were so glad to get the final checks done and get out of there. But when they came back that morning, they clocked something that made their blood run cold. Check it out. How could every single body seemingly vanish from each grave in under 8 hours? Could this have been a mass-scale grave robbery? Is this lost footage from the Pet Sematary movie? Some commenters believe that this could be the work of flash floods, trapped gases from inside the coffins and soil composition. But either way, those holes are a bit too body-shaped for our liking. Number 4. Nightmare tenants. The next spooky clips we're about to show you will have you triple check that everything is in its right place. Because this person began noticing once clean rooms becoming completely messed up when nobody had been inside. Items misplaced when they were certain they knew where they were. And enough became enough, and they set up cameras around their whole house, hoping to prove to themselves once and for all that it was their mind playing tricks. Turns out that the cold hard truth was much more terrifying than they once thought. You could say that it was strings or mechanisms, but this person went to all the effort of setting up multiple cameras that recorded the same area of the house. If they were just going to fake the whole thing with strings, why would they risk any other angle exposing the truth? And how would they get things to fly upwards so smoothly? Looks like there's a nightmare tenant present. Number 3. Search party. This guy's Facebook Live started out as most others. A little creepy and very entertaining. He was hoping that the pre-established spooky connotations with graveyards, paired with a dark night backdrop and some slow footsteps, would be enough to keep the viewers hooked. But he needn't worry about that, because he soon noticed something that trumped any circumstantial ambience. The team noticed a small, childlike figure running around the gravestones, and the further they ventured into the dark, twisting paths with their hearts in their mouths, the more they noticed that this figure seemed to be following them wherever they went. At first they thought they were just seeing things and shook it off. But when they went to get a closer look at some of the graves, they realised that they weren't imagining anything.
Sí, se cayó.
Yeah, there's always the chance that it was a breeze. But there doesn't seem to be any other movement anywhere else, and you'd be able to hear at least a slight rush of wind if that were the case. It could also be unbalanced weight finally toppling, but considering that before this happened, they were being chased around a graveyard by a tiny little shadow bastard, there's probably a spookier explanation. Number 2. Taken ill. While doing the regular rounds of the hospital wards, this guy was used to the monotonous cushion of doing and seeing the same thing day in, day out. But when he turned one of the next corners, he stopped dead in his tracks, sensing something sinister nearby. He pulled out his phone and hit record, hoping there was nothing to worry about and he could look back on the video later and laugh at how needlessly scared he was. Turns out he was right to have been trembling. The figure seems to scan the corridor up and down before stepping out and making another move. Editing software could have been used to make the figure transparent and terrifying, but why did the cameraman look so unbelievably scared? You can tell by the camera movement that he began to shake before legging it out of there. So could this be a bit of fancy editing, or something more supernatural? Number 1. Cat-like reflexes. Security cameras gave this person exactly what they needed. A system where they could check on the well-being of their favourite felines while they were out for longer stretches of time. While checking on them one evening, they noticed that one of their furry friends was staring at something. Thinking it was just nothing, they went to look away, but something in the intensity of the cat's stare made them keep watching, and they're glad that they did. The strangest thing here is the length of the cat's reaction. How did it know that something was going to happen over there for a minute, as he was starting from 20 seconds in, right to when the vase fell off at 1 minute 33 seconds? And if you look closely at the wooden wall where the vase falls, it looks like it bends slightly, and then snaps back into place. It could be the result of editing, but if this were a fake video, what the hell would editing one bit of wall do? Animals are known for supposedly having a sixth sense when it comes to the supernatural. And this video could be just the proof you needed to believe that.